So I know Devin is out tonight and back at shoot around. Has he been able to do any 5-on-5 or anything like that? Or?
He's ramping up. He's getting there. It's going really well. Been encouraging from him being able to do some stuff on this road trip. So hopefully when we get back, we'll continue to build it out and get him some more live stuff going.
What are some of the things you've missed just not having him available?
Yeah, I think he's kind of a good balance in terms of we have some guys that are very aggressive, as primary creators with the ball in their hands, and we have some guys that are more finisher shooters, and he's a little bit of all of it in his own way, a little bit more, I guess, traditional wing, as we used to call when we get into positions. And I think he's able to fit with a lot of different lineups and give different skill sets at certain times. Sometimes he's probably more of a shooter for us. Sometimes he can be more of a scorer in primary. And so I think having that luxury of being able to jump back and forth between the two, that at least for our roster, it really complements.
Your offense was humming into Christmas. You strung together a long winning streak. Since that time, it's not been as efficient. Are there any specific things that you can pinpoint? Is the Vassell absence part of that? Like, what do you feel like you guys need to do better on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I think there's a variety of things. The season is so long that you're going to have rough patches in one way or another show themselves. We've obviously missed some shots lately. Devin is a big part of what we do. We're still trying to gain continuity with Victor getting back and what that means and what that looks like. We have younger players that have never played this long of a season. We have a lot of guys on our team that have never played this competitive, this deep into the season. So you throw that into just, it's January in the NBA. You could probably pick your favorite team, and they've had a rough patch recently at some point if you look in the last month. And you just have to try to minimize those rough patches and then also get back to whatever your process is that is trying to produce the outcomes you're looking for, and not blink and flinch on that, and then also continue to push yourself and hold yourself and each other accountable on being better and sharper in some other areas.
Hey, Mitch, you guys have pushed the pace pretty good against them in these first 3 games. What's the importance of that for you guys as you look at trying to beat this team? What is it about pushing the pace that you like?
I think that's a big part of our identity versus everybody. I think obviously their defense everywhere, but in the half court can be really hard to score on. And so I think almost any team you play, you have a better chance of scoring when they're not set. This team is probably at the top of that list. So that, and then you couple taking care of the ball, trying to do that. It's a tough task, but that's typically the recipe, trying to give yourself the best chance, because they've proven now for overtime, if you don't catch them when they're not set or you don't take care of the basketball, they're pretty devastating. It's gonna make it hard to try to stay in pace with them.
Mitch, outsiders have painted you two, Thunder Spurs, as rivals. Do they feel like a rival to you guys?
I have not been long enough here to have the ability to say what's a rivalry. We've had a pretty good start to the year. They're the NBA champs and have been good for a few years, so I would not want to disrespect them and try to say that we're a rivalry because we've had a couple good months. I think they are far along in their journey and in their stride, and we're trying to learn what it takes to win in this league.
Because when you watch Steph Castle play, he plays with, I don't think you would call it reckless abandon, but abandon. He plays very hard and gets knocked over a lot, dishes out a beating, takes a beating. Has he, like, from a human standpoint, do you ever watch him, some of the falls he takes, and be like worried for him?
Yeah, I think, you have to allow, in my opinion, people to be themselves, and that, I call fearlessness, right? reckless abandonment you alluded to. I think he's relentless and he's fearless, and at times he may run into brick walls and shrug his shoulders afterwards. And I think there's just at times an opportunity to educate on, you can still have those two things at the forefront, the relentlessness and the fearlessness, but sometimes you can walk through the door, you don't need to run through the brick wall. And I think, again, a lot of that he just has to learn on the job training, reps, scout reports change, people know him. He's moved up into probably, when the opposing coaches talk about our team, at the start of last year, they probably weren't talking about him as much as they are now, and that's part of the fun challenge in this league.
Sometimes he seems like one of those running backs that seeks out contact,
Yeah, he's got a little Marshawn Lynch to him.
This match